Let me ask you something uncomfortable. When was the last time your boss genuinely praised your work in front of others? Not a quick good job in passing. Not a one-word reply to your email. I mean, actually acknowledged you, in a meeting, in front of leadership, in a way that felt real. If you're struggling to remember, that silence is telling you something. Here's what nobody warned you about when you start a job. Your boss doesn't just manage your work. They manage your future inside that company. And the terrifying part? They can start closing that future quietly, slowly, and professionally, while you're still showing up every day thinking everything is fine. You're not going to get a warning. You're not going to get a conversation. You're going to get a pattern. And by the time that pattern becomes obvious, the decision is already made. So today, we're going to talk about the signs your boss is slowly replacing you, not the obvious ones, not they're interviewing your replacement, the psychological, invisible ones that happen months before anything official ever surfaces. Welcome to Delaney versus the System, where we expose workplace chaos, decode corporate culture, and learn how to survive the system without losing ourselves. Most people operate on a very simple belief about work. Work hard. Deliver results. Stay professional. Get rewarded. It feels logical. It feels fair. And honestly, it's the lie that keeps most people completely blind to what's actually happening around them. Because here's the uncomfortable truth, your job security has almost nothing to do with how hard you work. It has everything to do with how useful your boss needs you to be, right now, in this moment, for whatever they're trying to accomplish. That distinction sounds small. It is not small. When you were hired, you filled a specific gap. You solved a specific problem. You were the answer to something your boss needed. But organizations shift. Priorities shift. Your boss's own ambitions shift. And the moment you stop being the answer to their current problem, your position starts to erode. Quietly. Professionally. With a smile. And because most employees are focused on their tasks, their deadlines, their deliverables, their performance reviews, they completely miss the political weather changing around them. They don't see the storm coming until they're already standing in the rain. And so what does it actually look like when a boss starts phasing you out? It doesn't look like conflict. It doesn't look like confrontation. It looks like nothing. And that nothingness is exactly the point. The first sign is shrinking access. You used to be in certain meetings. Not big, dramatic meetings, just the regular ones where decisions get discussed before they're finalized. And then, slowly, the invites stop coming. There's always a reasonable explanation. It was a quick sync. We didn't think it was relevant to your workload. We're keeping it small this quarter. Every excuse sounds logical on its own. But access to information is access to power. When your boss stops including you in the rooms where things are decided, they've already started deciding things without you. That's not an accident. That's a preview. The second sign is the praise redirect. Pay attention to who your boss publicly credits. In meetings, on email threads, in front of leadership, whose name do they lift up? Because the person your boss is positioning as a star right now tells you everything about where they see the future of the team. If your contributions are being acknowledged privately but someone else's are being celebrated publicly, that gap is intentional. Visibility is currency inside organizations. Your boss is investing that currency somewhere else. The third sign is the gradual task shift. This one is subtle and it's brutal. Your boss starts giving your most interesting, high-visibility work to someone else. Not all at once, that would be too obvious. Just, a project here. A client relationship there. An opportunity that fits better with someone else's skill set this quarter. What you're left with is the administrative, the routine, the low-stakes work. Work that keeps you busy but doesn't build your profile. Work that makes you easy to lose without disrupting anything important. They're not punishing you. They're quietly transferring your value elsewhere. And while you're dutifully completing your smaller pile of tasks, someone else is accumulating the wins and the visibility you used to have. The fourth sign is feedback that's suddenly vague. When your boss was invested in you, feedback was specific, clear, directional. Now, when you ask how you're doing, you get things like "you're doing fine," or "just keep doing what you're doing," or the truly terrifying one, "we'll talk about it in your next review." Specific feedback is something a boss gives an employee they're developing. Vague feedback is something a boss gives an employee they're managing toward an exit. They're not trying to build you anymore. They're maintaining the appearance of normalcy while they build someone else. Well, here's what most employees never understand about how bosses actually think. A boss is not just your manager. Inside a company, they are a resource allocator. Every team member represents an investment of time, attention, credibility, and political capital. And like any investor, they're constantly, consciously or not, evaluating where their best returns are coming from. When they championed you in the past, it wasn't just because they liked you. It was because promoting you, defending you, and investing in your visibility made them look good too. Your wins were their wins. Your competence was proof of their leadership. But here's the part nobody says out loud: bosses are human beings operating inside political systems. They have their own pressures, their own ambitions, and their own survival instincts. And sometimes, without any malice, without any announcement, they make a quiet internal calculation that their future is better served by investing in someone else. Maybe that someone is more aligned with the new direction leadership is pushing. Maybe that someone requires less management effort. Maybe that someone just arrived and comes with fresh enthusiasm that makes your boss look like they're building something. It doesn't have to be personal to devastate your career. That's the part that catches people completely off guard. There's a principle in organizational psychology called the idiosyncrasy credit model, the idea that credibility inside organizations works like a bank account. When you're new, thank you so much for watching, and please don't forget to subscribe. Delaney versus the system cares.